Ooh, they mad today. So apparently, among the many cuts that this government is making, and we need a lot of them, and it goes beyond nonsense, there has to be a lot of cuts. There really does. And to get down to it, our country is in tremendous debt, and we're spending way too much money. We need to get rid of the debt. That's what we need to do before we go bankrupt and become a third world nation, which I don't want to live in. I'm sure most of you don't want to either. So cuts need to be made. It just does. So I'm happy that we're cutting all of this DEI stuff out. I mean, that just makes me happy in general. However, it needs to go above that. A lot of cuts need to be made. It's just how it is. And I'm glad we're finally doing it. I think Doge is a good thing. But to watch all these clowns melt down over it is wild. So much waste. Elon put something out the other day showing how people are using these government-funded credit cards to go on these shopping sprees and stuff. This is wild shit. We don't need that. It's got to stop. Corruption's got to go. So we're now getting up to art, and people are upset because basically the Trump administration came out and said, well, if you are going to make art based on DEI or gender ideology, it's gone. The money's out. And this is causing a massive meltdown in the art community, which, by the way, not just DEI art, modern art in general is slop. I don't know if you've ever seen any, but I'm sure you at least can picture the banana taped to the wall. Now, if you don't know what that is, it looks like this. And apparently, at least according to Vogue, if I can get it to work, you can see it right there. It sold for $12,000. It's a little insane. What's up with your website? I can't even look at the headline. Do you see this? I can't even look at the headline. What is this? Anyway, this is a really good example of modern art. It's trash. Apparently, a comedian made this. Well, hell, it sure is funny. This is a really good example of modern art. I mean, some of it is absolutely ridiculous. It's trash. And it really shows just how far our society has fallen when it comes to art. I believe this to be true. I mean, go to a museum, right? It's wild. Go to a museum. They'll have a modern art section. But I want you, here's some homework for you if you ever want to do it. And I do encourage going to like an art museum because you can look at older art, which is really inspiring. Go walk around, look at some great artwork, look at some real history, and then go to the modern art section and see the trash we're making now. You go to these when they have like a gala event, people just staring at the shits. Oh, it's like the worst kind of liberals too, by the way. The ones with the septum rings and the blue hair, and they're all in there drinking wine, going over how great they are. And they're all hovering around these pieces, acting like they're so amazing and trying to interpret what they are. It's as bad as you think it is. I really believe it just exists so these people can sit around and circle jerk each other at these events with something to do. But anyway, Trump's going to slash it, apparently. At least stuff that has DEI and gender ideology in it. You're not going to get any money for it. I think that's fantastic. I don't want to fund any of this shit. It really is sad. And I think you can really judge a society by their art and what it looks like now. And when you look at our society and where it is and a lot of the art that gets made today, it kind of makes sense. But it is kind of subjective. Maybe you like this stuff. I don't know how, but maybe you do. Good on you. A group of more than 400 artists sent a letter to the National Endowment for the Arts Tuesday calling for the organization to stop following orders from President Trump and remove restrictions on awarding grants to projects that promote diversity or gender ideology. The letter, which was part of the campaign led by Annie Dorson, a theater director and writer, comes after NEA says federal grant applicants, which include nonprofit organizations, colleges and universities, individual artists, and more, must now comply with regulations under Trump's executive order in order to receive grant funding. Well, how can they ignore Trump then? Because Trump is the head of the federal government. So they can't ignore his orders. His orders are absolute when it comes to any kind of federal shit. So good luck, because if they decide to ignore what he says, given how he rolls, I'd say they're likely going to get fired. So probably going to have to listen to him. And hey, the good news to this, in my opinion, they're not saying that they're not going to still give funding. They're just not going to give it to propaganda. So it's not like people aren't going to still receive the grant money. They're just going to get it based on merit. So, per the new regulations, an applicant is not allowed to operate any programs promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Equity is communist, by the way. Notice how it changed from equality to equity? Think about that. Programs cannot use the federal funds to promote gender ideology. While the arts community stands in solidarity with the NEA, we oppose this betrayal of the endowment's mission to foster and sustain an environment in which the arts benefit everyone in the United States. We ask the NEA reverse those changes to the compliance requirements, the letter reads. So personally, I think this is fantastic. And we need more cuts. We need more and more. A lot. It's wild to see a lot of these people defend cuts. A lot of them, I think, are mad that their hands are going to get kicked out of the cookie jar. But, you know, that's just me. It's just my opinion, YouTube. Now, before we go, I thought I would show you one more story. Playboy, if you don't remember, decided that they were going to get with the times. And they decided that they were going to cut out any kind of nudity, stuff like that, and they were going to be a little bit more open. They decided to have Lizzo be a centerfold, and they also had trans women be centerfolds. And then they fell out of relevancy completely. This is the first time I've heard about them since that announcement happened. I think they even had Bad Bunny as a centerfold. That's a man, full-blown man, by the way, a straight-up dude, and it's like, the hell are you doing? That's the last I ever heard of him. So I'm guessing things must have gotten so bad that now they've pretty much came out and said, okay, we're going to rebrand. We're going back to how things were. Good luck. You've kind of fallen even into even more relevancy after that. Nobody's talking about you anymore. I'd be afraid to pick you up, but you knew this was going to happen. Anybody that read that story when it went down could tell you that was going to happen. And here we are. It just shows you how stupid these people that run these companies are. How do we have so many stupid people running companies? Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.